your guide to the truth. TheNewAmericanMedia.com.
Broadcasting to you live from the Milky Way galaxy, the solar system, planet Earth, North America, the United States of America, California, Los Angeles to be specific. That's what I used to say. Now I'm in Kentucky, Louisville to be specific. Hello everybody, welcome to the Unhappy Hour. My name is Brian Engelman. I am your host, as I have been for the past 9 years. Yes, I have 9 years of muscle memory. 9 years of saying Los Angeles. So that's not necessarily the case anymore. However, I do say it from time to time. Like so many people, you can look at Joe Rogan, he's one. He left Los Angeles, went to Texas. Ben Shapiro just left Los Angeles. He's going to Nashville. And the New American Media, here. We have left Los Angeles. What is this? Existing software on your system loaded a... be incompatible. Okay. Thanks for the update. Appreciate that. But we left and we're here in Louisville. Could not connect to the device. Thanks for the suggestion. Thanks for the information. A lot of people leaving Los Angeles these days. It ain't what she used to be. Ain't what she used to be. But here's the deal. If you are not following us on Twitter, you must do so. We're in 2 places. Well, we're in 4, but we're in 2 relevant places. One is our flagship. That's at American_media_. We'll tweet all day. Follow us there. And through the night as well. Then our sports-only show is TheUnhappyHour_. At TheUnhappyHour_. So link up with us over there. We'll be tweeting all day and through the night. We do these shows occasionally here on YouTube. We used to do a lot more of them before we were shadow banned, demonetized, censored, and yeah. But we're not done. We're not done with YouTube. We're going to keep working with the platforms we have while we have them because we are on, I don't know. It was August 19th when we were banned without explanation from Facebook. We've been putting a lot of our energy in the New American Media and the Unhappy Hour Sports Show and the Agree to Disagree Show into our Facebook page and our Facebook groups. My personal profile was deactivated without cause. We were following the terms of service without explanation, without attempt to remedy any said infraction, and without any response to our hundreds of requests to reinstate our account. So, check out TheNewAmericanMedia.com. No, I don't keep it super updated because it's just an extra step. Why? Maybe I will. Maybe I'll have to. On the lower right-hand side, you have 2 things. It's our Facebook feed, which I'm sure isn't working right now. But when we're reinstated, I know we will be, or we won't. And our Twitter feed, it's all located there. And then if you click on the top right, I believe it has our documentary, our sports documentary called Football Equals Family, the story of the Cleveland Browns' perfect winless season parade. That's our YouTube channel, youtube.com/TheNewAmericanMedia. So follow us, do all those things. So the show today is going to be about the Big Ten. The Big Ten, I found an article. I want to get to it here. This is actually going to be pretty interesting, going through the timeline. By the way, I'm kind of charting this Cleveland Indians game. The Tribe is in a really tough spot. Losers of 6 or 7 in a row now. Almost on the outside looking in on the expanded 8-team playoffs. This could be the last year with Francisco Lindor. We really need to win the World Series. We have good pitching. The hitting's been a little spotty, but I'm going to keep an eye on that. But the Big Ten has reinstated the Buckeyes, and the Crew in the Big Ten will be taking the field the weekend of October 23rd and 24th after a month of chaos. And I did a show yesterday, I believe, and it was just about how the Big Ten had ruined the Buckeyes. Part of that was because 2 of the star players, guard Wyatt Davis and defensive back Sean Wade, had both opted out. They're like, well, whatever's going on here, I'm not going to be allowed to play football. What's the point? What, we're going to play spring football in January, February, March? No, we're getting ready for the combine to get drafted at that point. You're not playing football. So the Big Ten, in the first place, had no business trying to get every other conference to back out. The Big Ten had no business opting out just a couple days after releasing their updated schedule. But I will give them credit. I will give them credit for finally doing the right thing. Yes, all of this chaos could be avoided, and I sure hope that this doesn't ruin Wyatt Davis and Shaun Wade, their opportunities playing on the Buckeyes in this championship run. The Buckeyes are a really good team this year. Guard Wyatt Davis did say today, Wednesday, that he'd like to return for the Buckeyes. But Wade has a relationship with an agent. Whatever. So, look, it's going to be interesting because I think you can hopefully make a quick petition, and just say, look, the season was in jeopardy. I hired an agent. I'd rather play the game. That's why I'm here, obviously. Like, reinstate me. I'm not working with that agent. I'll hold that off until the end of the season. That should be a no-brainer. That clause, just as easy as it is a no-brainer if a player wants to opt out amid all this uncertainty with what's been going on since March. Probably can't even tell you what it is because YouTube will demonetize or derank or remove or shadow ban. Derank, all the things, all the bad things. Now, MSNBC, ABC, CBS, they can lie to you, giving you fake news for 3 years about fake Russian collusion and a fake impeachment sham. They don't get deplatformed or demonetized. We do. So that's some good consistency for you. Let's just put that in perspective. But I digress. Let me walk you through what happened here with the Big Ten. First off, for all the mistakes that Kevin Warren made by canceling the season in the first place, I'm going to give him credit for ultimately making the right decision to reinstate the season. And of course, then it came down to all of the teams in the Big Ten. They said they're not doing this in piecemeal. They're all going to do it together. And it took a little bit, but they ultimately made the right call. Another big win for Donald Trump. A man who does things that seem impossible. A problem solver. Now, I know some of you, I might be losing you with that. I can hear the Stephen King tweet now. There's over 180,000. Donald Trump is responsible for this. Or Hillary's tweet. We deserve a president that cares about American lives. Ignoring Benghazi. No, I can hear you now. Put that aside for a second. President Trump, because really it's a hyper-partisan, ridiculous politics. But Donald Trump said the Big Ten should play. Donald Trump reached out to Big Ten Commissioner Kevin Warren. Donald Trump was out on the campaign trail doing radio interviews, podcast interviews. He was saying the Big Ten needs to play. Let's open it up. The data that we're getting, it's proving that it is time to open our economy up. Hey, California. Hey, New York. Open up and let people work. You want some basic common sense restrictions? Fine. Wear a mask. If it's not an N95 mask, it's not protecting you against a virus, but fine. If you think that this is what's necessary to slow the spread, 15 days to slow the spread started in early March. Can we remember that 15 days to slow the spread? Flatten the curve? Well, the curve's flattened. And when the CDC revised their data to say roughly 9,000 people died of COVID, and then out of the 180,000 who died with COVID and multiple comorbidities, and to see how many people are contracting this with zero ramifications health-wise, they don't even know they have it, it's not an issue. So many people are avoiding hospitalization, avoiding death. Half of these deaths have mostly come from a few states, New Jersey, New York, throwing people into nursing homes when they were already sick. Thank God that this is not on the level of what we thought it could have been. Thank God. But now is the time to get back to work. You can't just not work the rest of your life and put your hand out. Can I have some more, please? May I have some more? More? There is no more. So, credit to everybody. Credit all across the board. And this did take some leadership, and this did take lawsuits, as I mentioned yesterday. Let me read you through the timeline here. This is a pretty good. On August 5th, the Big Ten announced a 10-game schedule. So they're cutting things down a little bit, trying to tighten it up, Kevin Warren. But he was warning, there's no guarantee. 6 days later, Big Ten presidents and chancellors vote to postpone all fall sports, including football. By the way, when you get rid of football through Title IX, you're essentially getting rid of most of the other sports because you have to take a percentage of your earnings and distribute it to, women's lacrosse, synchronized ice fishing, or whatever the heck other sports there are. I want to see that on the Ocho on ESPN. Synchronized ice fishing. That's great. So August 11, Big Ten postpones fall sports. So we're talking about rapid testing and contract tracing. The Pac-12 followed suit the same day. And remember, Kevin Warren was trying to get the SEC, the ACC, trying to get the other conferences to all cancel at the same time. Luckily, that did not happen. This is panic porn. It reeks of political motivation. It's not backed by science. In all of these major schools, they have access to very fine medical treatments, medical testing, medical centers. If you kick kids out of a strictly regimented Division I college football program and let them loose on campus, you know what's going to happen? Bars, clubs, parties, hookups, and the spread. But if they stay in their program, they're going to be distanced, they're going to be watched, they're going to be tested on the daily. That's a win. That's much safer than the alternative. All right, so Scott Frost on August 13th said that he might be looking at other options besides playing in the Big Ten. He's prepared to look at all of his options, talking about playing outside the conference. And then said University of Nebraska at Lincoln is fully committed member of the Big Ten Conference. But that was interesting. That was almost like, hey, I don't need you, you need us. And by the way, that's the truth. August 14, Big Ten parents speak out against the decision to postpone the season. Parents from Iowa, Ohio State, and Penn State wrote and shared letters demanding answers from Warren. In the letters, the parents asked the conference had changed what had changed in 6 days that resulted in postponing the season. Quote, there's time to fix the wrongdoings and come out as leaders. We strongly encourage the Big Ten to reconsider playing the fall college football season, develop a plan of meaningful action, and letting these young adults be included in the decision-making process, one letter said. Parents expressed a concern of the lack of communication from Warren and the conference on why they made the decision. August 16, my quarterback, Justin Fields of The Ohio State University, created a petition to restart the season. Fields tweeted a link to a public petition, got 18,500 retweets. I need my chapstick. Oh, I might have chapstick here. Hey, I do. I just put this here yesterday. What a fortunate occurrence. Although that is weird to say. 18,500 500 retweets. 18,500 retweets. Yeah, you have to kind of like reload 100 retweets. and 303,000 signatures, approximately. He wrote, "We, the football players of the Big Ten, together with the fans and supporters of college football, request that the Big Ten Conference immediately reinstate the 2020 football season." Going on to say the players and teams alike should be allowed to make their own choices. Their body, their choice. August 17, Penn State Athletic Director Sandy Barber says she doesn't see the Big Ten reversing course. August 19, Warren makes his first public comments, reiterating the conference won't revisit the decision. August 21, parents of Big Ten players protest outside of Big Ten headquarters. Sean Wade, his father, Randy Wade, organized the protest, saying, "We want to do everything we can to play in the fall. We don't like the way the decision went down by the presidents and not knowing whether they voted or didn't vote. We don't like that. Our kids wear Big Ten on every jersey. We represent the Big Ten." August 26, parents of Big Ten players sent an open letter to the Big Ten. Big Ten Parents United, parents from Nebraska, although parents from Nebraska, Ohio State, Iowa, Penn State, and Michigan already sent letters to Warren demanding more transparency and communication, this group, Big Ten Parents United, sent another letter expressing lack of confidence in Warren's ability to lead and communicate effectively with all key stakeholders. The letter demanded the conference produce documents, video records, communications, and minutes of the meeting. August 27, 8 Nebraska football players sue the conference. They filed a lawsuit to invalidate the league's postponement of the fall football season and to award damages. Bravo, bravo. Litigation can move mountains. The suit alleged that the Big Ten was in breach of contract by not following its governing documents, and the athletes had a right to expect the Big Ten will follow its governing documents and all of its other rules, regulations, and guidelines, and that they will not make arbitrary and capricious decisions. That's another one. Capricious decisions. That's easy to say, but it's a weird back-to-back. Saying they need an actual vote. September 1, President Donald Trump holds a phone call with Warren. A White House representative reached out to Warren about having discussions concerning how the conference could return to playing football as soon as possible. Trump told reporters at the time, "We had a very good conversation, very productive, and maybe we'll be very nicely surprised. They had it closed up, and I think they'd like to see it open, along with a lot of other football that's being played right now." While Trump tweeted that the conference's plans to return were at the 1-yard line, sources told ESPN that nothing had changed in terms of answering the Big Ten's medical questions and concerns. September 5, Michigan parents protest along with coach Jim Harbaugh. Harbaugh joined parents of his players in Ann Arbor to march and protest the conference's decision. He told reporters at the event he had sent text messages and emails to Michigan President Mark Schlissel, but had not talked to him about the postponement. Harbaugh also reiterated his desire to play, telling reporters, "We want to play as soon as we possibly can, and we're ready to play. We should be ready to play a game in 2 weeks." September 8, politicians from 6 states asked the Big Ten to reconsider its decision. Political leaders from Michigan, Iowa, Minnesota, Ohio, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin signed a letter asking the conference to reconsider not playing in the fall. That's big. Saying that the decision placed the Big Ten and its members and students at a disadvantage. Then issuing a statement saying it wanted the same thing as the legislators for sports to continue safely. September 10, Ohio State coach Ryan Day issues a statement about his displeasure with the decision. The Ohio State coach continued to question the communication from the Big Ten since its decision to postpone nearly a month before. In his statement, Day said, "While I understand the Big Ten Conference's decision to postpone the football season because of health and safety considerations, the communication of information from the Big Ten following the decision has been disappointing and often unclear." He went on to say they still had an opportunity to play safely and still compete for a national championship this fall. Make no mistake about it, folks, The Ohio State University, who had the best, by many accounts, draft class of this season, has one of the top 3, if not the best team entering this season. And after the awful, probably the worst officiating decision I've ever seen, to take away a strip ball touchdown return by the Ohio State Buckeyes against Clemson in the college football playoffs. There were multiple awful calls in that. I don't want to revisit it because my blood pressure is going to spike. I want to avoid that. The Buckeyes could have won it last year if they would have had decent officiating. definitely have a chance this year. We're not playing for pride. We're playing for a chance to win a championship. Why did I switch the article? Oh, good grief. Here we go. Found it. Yeah, the Mac did something with, when you do the two-finger scroll, it switched. Okay, here we go. So basically, kudos to Ryan Day of The Ohio State University. And Ohio State was one of the few schools that voted against postponing. There were 3 of them. Was it Nebraska, Ohio State? Was it Iowa? I don't have it in front of me. September 11, Nebraska Attorney General Doug Peterson questions the legality of the postponement. Once again, you're getting the legal system involved. This is big. Peterson sent a letter to Warren questioning whether the league had operated in compliance with Nebraska law and requested all documents and information pertaining to its decision to postpone. Peterson alleged the conference was out of compliance with the Nebraska Nonprofit Corporation Act that says all nonprofits are expected to register within the states they want to conduct business. He went on to allege the Big Ten is operating and conducting business within the state of Nebraska and or failing to maintain registration in the state. Nonprofits doing business in the state do not face enforcement action by the attorney. I don't know, that's a little bit of a weird one. They face enforcement action by the Attorney General's office. All right, September 13, presidents and chancellors meet to review the latest medical information. And this was part of it when President Trump spoke with Kevin Warren, Big Ten commissioner. He promised better treating, testing, rapid testing kits, and said, hey, I feel like the meeting kind of went like this. Hey, thanks for taking the time. I'm a big fan of football. I want to see the kids play. Luckily, the numbers are showing that healthy young people are very much, can't say the word immune, but they're not in the high-risk group. The high-risk group is over 75 years old if you have multiple comorbidities and your vitamin D levels are low. We've known this for a long time. Not to say it isn't still a thing and that's not still out there in some level, but everything's out there in some level. You can't bubble wrap your life. You have to live your life. But college-age kids who are at the peak physical condition of a Division I school with access to great training facilities and great medical facilities, you're not super high at risk. Let's get back to it. They said, yeah, well, we want to treat a little bit better. He says, okay, I believe that that's something we can help you out with. Let's set you up with something. Is that going to make it happen? Well, maybe it will. I think if you can guarantee me blah, 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 hey, because we'd like to see that. We know the lawsuits are starting to pile up. This is going to get worse before it gets better. The other conferences are playing. You need to go back and play football. That's how I imagine this call going in my head. The dude wrote a book called The Art of the Deal. He just brokered peace in the Middle East, again, Bahrain, Israel, UAE, and I think there's going to be more agreements. No, they're not actively in war. Stop it. Yes, we're aware. But this mortal hatred and vindictive retaliation and economic hindrance from all these countries in the Middle East hating on Israel. He brokered a deal there. Went to North Korea, shook the hand of that dude. Not because he's a good guy. Not because Kim Jong-un is a good guy. It's because that's how you get a deal done. You meet in the middle. You go over to their side, you offer them something. Say, hey, you would rather play than not play, right? All those tens of millions of dollars, the billions of dollars, that's better, right? We want to see that too. What can we'd like to offer you, testing kids? Some public support. What else do you need? We'll work on it. Cool. We got you. I think that'd be great for the country. We need some normalcy. And I think we do. Because if you remember, sports essentially ended when Rudy Gobert was clowning around with the Utah Jazz in basketball, and then he caught coronavirus. When that happened, sports stopped, the world stopped. And maybe we didn't come back exactly when baseball came back or basketball came back, but hey, college football coming back, I think this is going to be, number one, I think this is going to be massively popular in swing states like Ohio, Minnesota, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania. Go down the list. I think this is going to be massively important. I think it's going to be a blowout anyway. I think it's going to be a clear landslide for 4 more years. But this is going to be another feather in the cap. But the dude makes deals. Brokering peace. Nominated for 2 Nobel Peace Prize. What was it? The other one? Bosnia? Hey, man. And by the way, John Kerry, Barack Obama, Joe Biden, Hillary Clinton, they were steering us directly into another decade or decades-long quagmire in Syria. And you know that if you're paying attention, if you watched 2013, 2014, 2015, 2016, if you were watching what was going on, that's exactly where we're going. And this president steered us away from that. You can dislike a lot of things, but you can't dislike the peace efforts and the deal making. This is a deal that was made. Once again, congratulations to the Big Ten Commissioner, Kevin Warren, for seeing the light. Congratulations to President Trump for helping come in and fix this deal. Make this happen. I mean, that's what a boss does. That's what a president does. I'm so happy because I was so bummed. I really hope Ohio State gets our best players back. You know, Sean Wade and not Wyatt Earp, Wyatt Davis. Oh, goody. Goody. The Cubs beat the Indians again. This is incredible. It's straight free fall mode for the Tribe. Might end up missing the playoffs. Just going to look here. What was the... how did they score their final run? Oh, here we go. I don't know. How does it... I don't know. Whatever. Disappointing. Anyway, September 13th, presidents and chancellors meet to review the latest medical information. The medical subcommittee presented new testing programs on September 12, and the presidents, chancellors, and the Big Ten's Return to Competition Task Force met on Sunday to discuss the information. The meeting was an opportunity for all 3 of the task force's subcommittees, medical, TV, and football scheduling, to present their plans to all 14 presidents and chancellors. That meeting did not end in a vote, but was a major step in bringing back the season. September 15, Nebraska official was caught on a hot mic saying the Big Ten decision was coming. True to form and how this process has gone for the Big Ten, and only 2 days after the presidents and chancellors met, University of Nebraska System President Ted Carter was caught on a hot mic saying that the conference's decision to reinstate the season would come later Tuesday. Carter was speaking to Bob Hinson, director of National Strategic Research Institute, before a news conference Tuesday in Lincoln, Nebraska. And here we are, September 16. The Big Ten announces it will begin the season starting the weekend of October 23-24. New daily rapid testing program is set to begin on September 30 on all 14 campuses. With the return to play, the conference is adopting significant medical protocols, including daily antigen testing, enhanced cardiac screening, and an enhanced data-driven approach when making decisions about practice and competition. I'm going to tweet this out. This is a good timeline. I'll even type. This is a great recap of how we got here, got in this mess, and how we got out. Follow us at American_media_ and the unhappy hour _. And I'll put hashtag TNAM sports and the unhappy hour. Okay. Follow it. It's a good article. How do I tweet this? Oh, there we go. I don't like doing anything. And a Mitch McConnell story I'll share. Just information. Check it out. Yeah, I don't typically like going through content from ESPN or sharing ESPN content. But in this case, that was a nice breakdown. Well done. Who wrote it? Who wrote this one? Tom Van Haren. Bravo. Good job, Todd Van Haren. So look, I just wanted to give you that update. I'm a little subdued now. It's at the end of the day. I'm a little tired. But I'm beyond excited. I'm beyond excited. This is a great... Excuse me. This is a great Ohio State football team. I hope they get Wyatt Davis back on the offensive line. I hope we get Shaun Wade back in the defensive backfield. Wade said, I came back to get my degree and to play another season and win a national championship. Wade said of his decision to return. But when the Big Ten canceled, I was focused on still playing, but I felt like they were holding off for so long. I thought it was the best decision for me to declare for the draft and just go on with preparing and getting ready for the draft. He's predicted to be the number 7 overall pick, perhaps. So he's technically ineligible because he declared for the draft and he signed with an agent. However, depending on the circumstances, the athlete and his school could try to go through a student-athlete reinstatement process to regain eligibility for a season. So, although Wade said, I haven't signed nothing. Well, that's a double negative, so... Anyway. Alright, so that's what I got. Just big kudos. I like answers. I like success stories. I like wins. And this is a big one. It's been an awful year for so many people. You know, we need normalcy. Thank God this is not as bad as a lot of people feared in the beginning. Yeah. Had China been honest with us and not bribed the World Health Organization to downplay this and lie to us, we could have acted a lot faster, a lot more swiftly. And to our credit, we never had a situation where our hospitals were overflowing. Thank God, right? Luckily. You know, we didn't have that. And it was to flatten the spread, flatten the curve, slow the spread. We did that. A lot of people were taken out by this. A lot of older people, a lot of weak people, a lot of people with comorbidities, a lot of people with severe vitamin D deficiency, so make sure you're getting sunlight and taking a vitamin D supplement. That's perhaps one of the best things we can be doing right now. But, you know, it's time to get back to work. It's time to open up and have events again, concerts, sports. I mean, that's the American way of life. Restaurants, bars, casinos, parties, weddings. That's life. What else is there? A 9-to-5 job? You know, that's a means to an end. Like, sometimes, yeah, that becomes your life. That's cool, but you know, family, friends, legacy. Hopefully this year put things in perspective for you a little bit. I'm telling you, it was really nice. Oh, forgive me. Really nice having football back this week. Not so nice because I'm a Cleveland Browns fan and we had a really lousy performance. So I'm not a big fan of that. Hopefully we'll put it back on track tomorrow against the Bengals. And the Indians, oh, good grief. They're on the ropes. I mean, we're ready for the playoffs to start, and goodness, what, 7-8 game losing streak? Wow. The wheels have totally fallen off. Still time to get back in it, but goodness, you got to do it this moment. No more. I hope we get postseason baseball. I'm also hearing we're going to have fans. Fans, postseason baseball. Bravo, do it. Although I don't know the situation with college sports. Are we getting fans? I'll have to check on that soon. But anyway, I digress. So I'm going to sign out for now. Sign up to all the things I told you about at the beginning of the show. The Unhappy Hour here at the New American Media. My name's Brian. I appreciate you. I love you. Go Buckeyes. O-H. I-O. I appreciate you. I love you. Go Buckeyes. And we'll talk again soon. Take care. Peace.